Hello, everybody. How's it going? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. It is a blistery Friday. Just got to double check, make sure everything's all set up, ready to roll here. We're going to jump right into it. So today is our webinar on how to go ahead and make the most out of your SHRM conference. So I really love going to the SHRM conferences. They are a ton of fun. And you know what I really love the most is that it really fills you up. There's so much good stuff that you get to take away from being at the SHRM conference that, you know, all of this, and you know what it's like, right? You come in, I mean, it's fun. What we do, blast, right? But sometimes it can just drain you out. And when it does, this actually helps refill you, which is pretty awesome. And it's thankfully a great event to go to. So SHRM typically has about 4 events out of the year, but this is the big master conference. And there's actually about 20,000 people that come to this event every year. And it bounces from city to city. And part of that is because they actually have to find a location that can support and house and 20,000 people. And we got people that are coming in from all over the place. They come in from Japan, they come in from, I've talked to women from the Bahamas, and they're just from everywhere. So, all right, so we're gonna go through all the things that you need to do. If you've never been to the SHRM conference, don't worry about it, I'm gonna take you through everything. So, well, first thing that you have to do is you actually have to register for the website. You have to register through the website. And there's actually a couple different rates. There's the member rate and the non-member rate. And the cost actually continues to go up over time. So when you get closer to the event, then it starts getting expensive all over again, all right? The actual lowest cost is the early bird special, and they actually announced that while you're at the SHRM convention. And by the way, this is actually what it looks like. This is I popped this picture back up here. This is actually what it looks like being at the SHRM conference, and this is the expo piece of it. So it's I figured I'd just throw that up as the background and have some fun with it. And there's a lot of people. So so when you register for the conference, the expo that you see here, and all of like the mega sessions, the concurrent sessions, and I'm going to talk about all of that. Plus, you also get 1 ticket to the Tuesday night show, which is a concert of some well-known musician or band, and you can actually get you can buy an extra ticket. So if you were coming with your spouse, or you know, just had a friend or a family member that lived in the area, last year when they did it, they did the exhibit in Las Vegas. I didn't go last year. The year prior to that was Chicago. The year prior to that was wait, where was I? I was in New Orleans. And then a couple years prior to that, they did DC, they did Vegas again, and I was in the one in Orlando. So it's pretty awesome stuff. So the first thing that you want to do after you get registered is get your hotel squared away. Now, the hotels go fast, and of course, obviously, the closer you get to the date, the more the rates go up, but the closer the hotel to the convention center, the rates go up. So once they announce the dates and everything, make sure that you actually get your hotel, or even if you're thinking about going, but you haven't really made your mind up, just if you're part of like a system like I do, Marriott hotels, so just go ahead and make your reservation. And then if you decide that you're not going to go, Marriott gives you enough time to go ahead and cancel. You actually don't have to prepay for it. You can just reserve it. So while I was in the process of trying to figure out which hotel I wanted to go to stay in, I actually booked like 2 different hotels, and then I wound up canceling one of them because I actually found a better rate. So get your hotel done, get that thing done first, because it is quite pricey. Now, Flights and transportation. As soon as, obviously, as soon as you start figuring out that you're going to go, watch the flights, right? Go ahead and just start monitoring, and you never know, flights. I mean, it's hard to actually figure out when the flights are going to go up and when the flights are going to go down. Guaranteed, the closer you get to the event, then the rate's going to go up. But the sooner you can lock in your flight, better off you are. And then also, SHRM actually has ground transportation to the convention center and a route for all the various hotels. So I'm going to show you that in a little bit. But they actually have a map, so you can take a SHRM shuttle to and from the actual convention. So you don't have to worry about Ubering. You don't have to worry about renting a car. All you do is just get, Uber from the airport to the hotel, and then you can actually use the shuttle. Where I'm going to be staying, it's just a quick walk, a couple blocks away, so I'm just going to go ahead and walk. All right, so once you register, got all your other reservations squared away, before you actually before the event starts, a couple weeks before, you're going to get a packet in the mail, and then it's going to include this book right here, right? So this is the conference and exposition book, and it's pretty handy. It has a bunch of stuff, and I'm going to actually go through that with you. It's going to be very handy. So as you go through it, excuse me, you'll see that it has the floor plan for where we're staying. And you can see this is a fairly large event. And this will have the master schedule. You'll have access to what they call their e-learning library. It's going to talk a little bit about certifications that you can use this to prepare for. And it's also going to give you a rundown of the main speakers. And so these are your main keynote speakers right here. You've got concurrent sessions, which I'm going to explain to you what that is. So you can see all of the different lectures that are going to be taking place. And I keep these. I don't let these go. I actually hang on to these. I have several from the years that I've attended. They've got some pre-conference offerings. They've got, here's a list of the speakers, sponsors, and then the shuttle. This is the shuttle map. So this is what I was telling you about a little while ago. So this is when I stayed in Chicago. So you can see here are all the various hotels. This is the McCormick Center. This is actually where the conference was held. So you can see based off of all these various hotels, because there was nothing down here, these bus routes are in motion. Now, that's everywhere that you go. That's Vegas, it's Florida. They have this all the time. Some cities have mass transit, like Vegas actually has the rail system. But, San Diego's a little bit different, but they're going to have these bus routes. Every year they do this. They've got information if you're attending from internationally. You'll be good. And then they've also got what's called the Smart Stage schedule. I don't know if they're going to do that again this year or not, but that is, and there's kind of like a common area, and the Smart Stage is in there where they have little tiny little speakers. So they've got some, other types of things and advertisements. In this book, you will also find out in 2021 where the next event is going to be. So they've got a list of networking events, and these are specific to SHRM. So they've got the bookstore, they have a book signing schedule, they've got different attendee services, they've got the certification lounge, and the SHRM Exposition Certification Lounge is for anybody who is certified. And they can go in there and just kind of hang out and rest for a little bit. Speaker book signing schedule, different types of attendance services. There's the information on the exposition. The exposition is cool, and I'm going to tell you about it in a little while as I'm ready to get into it. And then if you want to speak at SHRM, they've got information on what you need to do. And then they have just a couple of pages for notes. So this book is very, very handy, and you are going to just love digging into it. One of the things that I did is when I get this book, you can see that I actually go through and I start circling the courses that I'm interested in, or the lectures that I'm actually interested in listening to. So, or sometimes what I'll do is I'll just print it out. I'll print the schedule out, because you'll get the schedule once you enroll, and then I'll just start circling what's of interest, and then I'll start populating my schedule. Okay. So that's cool. So that's really awesome. I love the book. It is pretty awesome. Then one of the things now, what's awesome about this event, when you go to the expo, there is a lot of really cool giveaways. They have a ton of stuff. This tube right here, which contained my favorite water bottle, they have the best stuff that they give away. This is from, you'll know them when you see them. This is kind of vaudeville. They always have the best giveaways. But I kid you not, I've got pens and I have more flash drives. and what I used to use these for, I still use them, but I take the data off and then I recycle them. So like if I need to hand somebody a certain type of like document or something, and you know they don't have a flash drive, then I just depower one of those and plug in, and here I just load it up and then they can have it. So what am I gonna say? But every year there's like one thing that's the most popular. Like one year it was those little sticky things with the slide window on it, and then you put that on your laptop over the camera and it blocks out the camera so they can't see it. You know, whoever you, anyway, yeah. So there's always some fun stuff. Career Builder is the one that always has one of the most outrageous and fun exhibits on opening night. So that's a lot of blast. So you're going to be going through the expo. I'll talk a little bit more about it still, but you are going to want to probably pack 3 printed, prepaid, or pre-printed shipping labels, because there's a lot of vendors here and you're going to wind up getting a lot of stuff as a result of it. So it's easy to get all this free flair. It's a lot of fun, but you also get books too while you're there. I mean, people will give away books. Different speakers, different authors are there. So it, you know, it's, you have a luggage limit if you're flying. So it's helpful to bring some of those pre-printed labels, and then you can grab the boxes at your hotel. They will probably have them there, or you can work with the front desk at the hotel to get like the UPS box or the postal overnight boxes, things like that, or priority boxes, and then bring some packing tape. And then really the other thing you have to worry about is shipping out. Here's the thing, you can ship out from the convention centers, but you're going to be paying through the nose from it. So if you have like a FedEx account already, or you know, I just bring 3 prepaid USPS, you know, the priority labels. I literally bring 3 of them and I fill those boxes up quite simply. Then I don't have to carry, you know, an extra bag or something like that and trying to get checked in on the way back. All right, so you'll have a lot of fun flair, lots and lots and lots of fun flair. This is one of, I can't wait, I'm sorry. This is one of them. If you find one of these, this is a leave wheel. I absolutely love this. And what it does is that it helps you identify when, like if somebody's going on a 4-month leave, then you line it up to the date that they go out on leave. And then on the inside circle, it actually shows you when their date is coming off. Very useful stuff, okay? Seriously, there's some really good stuff. And then there's some pretty dumb stuff. Like there's more stuff that blinks coming out of an HR convention. It's amazing. So anyway, what to bring? Make sure that you pack to be comfortable, okay? Bring your shoes that are going to be good for lots and lots of walking. I mean, these are huge venues. We're not talking about, you know, being squished and crammed. I mean, they block off real estate in order to do this. So lots of walking. Like you can wear, you know, just make sure that you dress comfortably. You know, you don't have to wear suits. You don't have to wear dresses, heels, whatever. Just bring stuff with you. You can bring jeans. You can do like hiking pants. Also make sure that you bring like a light sweater or a light jacket, because there is air conditioning in these events. It is in the summer, and there are some rooms that you're just going to get cold. All right. Make sure you bring business cards. Load up your business cards, because if you're wanting to do networking, and I strongly recommend, this is a great place for you guys to practice this, bring business cards so you've got business cards to pass. Also, make sure you bring at least 2 legal notepads or whatever you're using for your notebook, and your pen, because you're going to want to take notes. Now, you can also hook up like a tablet or an iPad or your laptop to the Wi-Fi that's over there. Sometimes the Wi-Fi gets a little wonky and it's a little intermittent. They'll do their best to fix it. So just want to give you a heads up with that. Also, make sure that you're carrying a backpack or some sort of rolling computer bag. If you have just like a shoulder bag or something, you're going to get a bag when you check in from SHRM, but you're going to want something else that's not going to put pressure on your shoulders, or it's just going to be easy because you're going to be loading up with stuff. I mean, it's just the nature of this thing. You can't not load up stuff. All right, so when you check in, the very first thing you're going to get is you're going to get an attendance bag. Now, unfortunately, I think one of them's the last one I had was packed. So I'm going to kind of give you an example of what one somewhat looks like, but not really. So this was from a SHRM event that I did in 2017. Ours are not like that when you go to the conference. They look more like this. Sorry. But it's digital, right? And you have to have this around your neck and you have to have them showing. You can also, like you see on here, get these ribbons, right, which are pretty cool, and then you can kind of line them up. So this was an event that I went to. I was a speaker, but you can also put a ribbon on there that shows your certification, that shows a lot of different things. I think there's like 20 ribbons you can put, like SHRM member. It's pretty cool. So you can, just get, and it's funny to walk around because you'll see some people that have put like 12 of them on there or something, and it's just fun stuff. All right, so when you check in, you're going to get your badge. You have to wear your badge, and before you can go into the expo, you have to make sure that your name is facing out. So just give you a heads up with that. You're going to get like a nylon bag, and inside of it has some more information about the event itself, and that'll be pretty helpful. And actually, you know what? I'm going to take that back. This book does not get mailed to you anymore. This book is in your bag. I'm sorry. I misspoke a little earlier, but the book is awesome. The book is in your bag, which is how you learn about when the next SHRM event is. Sorry. My apologies. I remembered something differently. There's helpful volunteers everywhere. So in the bag, you're going to get a map of the facility, and you're also going to get a map and a list of all of the vendors. So you can actually see where everything is and where everything's going. All right, so I just wanted to check for any incoming questions. All right. So online, you want to go ahead and plan your days. So I'm going to jump over here real quick, and I just kind of like a last minute thought here. So I want to show you what you can put together in order to get your conference going. And, take full advantage of the day. That's going to be the key. Take full advantage. These days start at 7:30 in the morning, and they go right up until 5 o'clock at night. Now, they're long days. I'm not gonna kid you. They are long days. So, yes, you can find my email. I'm sorry, I should have done this earlier. I just kind of thought of this at the last minute. Schedule, when you're looking at the schedule, on the online schedule, schedule multiple events. The reason why is that here we go. So when you get the opportunity to look at one schedule, you may find that you want to go do something else if it really wasn't piquing your interest. And this year, you're only doing 1 hour events. So if you schedule several of them, then, if one turns out to be a dud for you, you can pop over and do another one. Now, there are some cancellations. It's very rare, but it actually does happen. So I am going to share my screen so you guys can see what this looks like. Okay, so there's 176 events, as you can see here, and you've got a couple of different types of events. You've got your educational programs, and you got to scroll down because there's quite a lot of them. Educational programs are actually programs that they start before the actual conference itself. There's usually a fee associated with it. You can register on Friday and Saturday. You can check in. That's not a problem. But those really are pre-conference workshops, and pre-conference workshops are dedicated workshops that will help you build credit in preparation or additional targeted studies on specific subjects. So we really don't start the event until Sunday. right around noon. So I usually get in about 10 in the morning. I go through my stuff. I just get myself situated. I enjoy it during coffee. And then at 1 o'clock is when the very first concurrent session starts. And the concurrent session is what is included as part of the conference itself. So you can see there's a couple of different ones that I'm looking at. So one of the things that I'm interested in is maybe going to the business storytelling one. So I've gone ahead and I've added it to my schedule by clicking on the add schedule button. Now, so you can see that you're actually looking at my schedule. And you can tell that I've kind of got a couple of different ones because, you know, I want to take some time to think. But what I've done is I've just populated my schedule with the sessions that I'm interested in. Now, there's something that's called a mega session, which is a very large session. So it really is more of a big lecture. There's no interactive piece to it. So it's actually pretty cool. And you know what? I misspoke. We are not. So so that session is an hour. Some of these sessions are showing as an hour only, like this one. And some of these sessions are showing a little bit longer. So the mega sessions are going a little bit longer. That's kind of interesting. That's a little new. I've never seen them do that. I wonder if this is new for this year. So anyway, so shaking it up. So they're either an hour or an hour and 15. Really is what it's going to be. So be prepared for that. All right. So then you've got educational, which is an extra fee, and then you also have senior workshops as well. Then you have what's called the general session, and the general session is the big kickoff. And the general sessions are pretty impressive, and that's where you see your really, really, really big, keynote speakers. So we're going to pop over to the general sessions here real quick so you can see what these look like. So I strongly encourage everybody that when you attend this, it starts at 2:30, is that you attend the grand opening. And this one is really impressive. You also get to hear from the president of SHRM, and you find out what SHRM's messages are. This is a cool event. And then you can see here, I'll show you, this is what happens when you add a session to your schedule. You get the pop-up window, boom, done. Okay. I tend to populate these. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a Carly Fiorina fan, so I'm probably not going to attend that one just because it's just not my favorite. So I'm sure she's got a good message, but I'd rather take advantage of some other opportunities in the area. I'm good with that. So, and that's okay. That's what a lot of people do, believe it or not. But these things are pretty jammed. They're pretty big. All right. So the cool part, this is pretty awesome. So the Tuesday night event is pretty great. And let's see, I wonder if they're showing it. No, and that's okay. So we're going to go ahead and go back to the regular session. Okay. I wonder if they have it showing here. The Tuesday night session is awesome. So every year they bring in a high profile talent for conference or concert. A couple of years ago, I've got a chance to see Tim McGraw. Excellent show, by the way. He puts on a really, really good show. This year is Lionel Richie. So that's going to be pretty fantastic. And I don't see them showing it here, but that's all right. It's Lionel Richie. I mean, holy cow. So it's going to be awesome. Yep. Tuesday night entertainment. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and show this. Details coming soon. So they haven't yet populated the information, but we know it's Lionel Richie. That's not a problem. Okay. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and stop sharing this, and I'm back. Okay, so that's the schedule itself. And then, if you want to take take a session off the schedule, just go ahead and go back to your schedule, and then you can remove it, which is pretty cool. All right, networking. So networking is going to give you a really great opportunity to meet some pretty cool people. You'll get a chance to practice networking. I really could not think of a better place to actually go in and do this, is to is to do this actually at the SHRM convention itself. So bring postcards, bring notebooks, excuse me, note cards. I'm going to show you. This was one of the best pieces of free flair that I ever got. I got this at a show in Las Vegas. I was somewhere else. It was made by Velcro, and it's a waterproof thing. And so what I carry in here is I actually carry my note cards. I have an extra pen, and I carry stamps with me as well. And when I travel, this is what comes with me. Now I'm going to have to leave some of this behind, and that's okay. But what I do is when I go to a city, so I've got my Brenda Neckvatal stationery, you know, my quick note stationery that I carry. But what I also do is I have like little thank you notes, just a couple of them. But I also go and I get postcards from wherever it is that I am. If this is for work, and you know, there's some from New York City, I just, you know, buy a couple of these. But what I do is I actually, the night that I meet people, I go back to my hotel. It's part of my decompression, and I actually write them a note, and then when they get back to their office, they've got something from me waiting there. And I tell you, I tend to get a lot of really great compliments from people and comments on it, because it just makes them feel really great. And remember, that's half the battle when it comes to networking is, you know, when you meet somebody, they remember you based off of how you made them feel, not what you said so much, right? So, you know, when you land at the airport, just get 20 postcards, or, you know, or 10 or whatever, you know, make a goal for yourself. It's like, I want to connect with X number of people. And this is a great place to do that. Okay. Get your stamps ahead of your schedule, because you get them at the hotel. Again, you're going to be paying out the nose for it. And, you know, just take that moment to go ahead and wow whoever you meet by doing something like that. Make sure that you do it at the end of the day. And then that way, at least this is my practice, but if you do it at the end of the day and you drop them off in the hotel inbox, they'll ship them out for you. You don't have to worry about it. And it'll be there by the time that they get back. Make sure that you're working to network with the movers and the shakers. Now, you're not always going to know who those are, but if you see a speaker that you find very interesting and you would like to get to know better, that's a great opportunity. After the session, go up. There's a lot of people that will do that. They'll go up and introduce themselves. They will exchange business cards, because this is an opportunity potentially for some people to go ahead and get some business. And I was just looking to see if I have the book. Yes. So this is a book that I got when I was at SHRM, and the author was the speaker over there. And she's really neat lady. Actually thinking about getting her on the podcast show. And she's an attorney. She does specifically workers' compensation stuff, and her lecture was phenomenal. So I wound up learning things that I didn't know. So it's pretty awesome. Okay, next is the app. SHRM, when you get there, you will get notification that they do have an app. You can download it, and it's sponsored usually by ADP, and it has everything that's in the book on the app. So you can look at your speakers' bios, you can look at your schedule, you can search and connect with actual other attendees. So like I'll put my notifications on, and if somebody I know from years past, or somebody I used to work with is attending the event, I'll have it on, and then if they think about it, they can actually go through and find me on the only Brenda Neckvatal in the country. It's not hard to find, but you can actually go ahead and actually find me and message me through the app if they don't have your cell number, and then you guys can connect. Now, not everybody does it. I'm probably one of those funny, weird people that does, but that's okay. And then it'll also have the expo information as well. So the expo is so much fun. It goes for a couple of days. It is only open while the event is open, and the big kickoff takes place immediately after the opening big event, right? So it's usually about a half hour after that, and I mean, people line up to get into this thing. And opening night is a blast. They have wine available for people. A lot of these booths will actually do like contests. You get a lot of freebies, and like I said, vaudeville you'll know it when you see it, because people are just clamoring for whatever it is that they're giving away, and it is one of the best giveaways, and they spend a fortune at the nose to doing it, but I have yet to ever hear from that company, because they take your information. It's a lead generator is what it is, and I've never heard from them. So You get some pretty good stuff out there. So the opening night celebration is fun. There's literally hundreds and hundreds of vendors that are there. Some of the speakers have booths over there as well, but basically you can find any sort of HR solution you might be looking for. So if you're looking for something for safety, if you're looking for something for, you know, leadership development, all these vendors are there, okay? And it's pretty awesome. There's a lot of promotional flair. There's a lot of free giveaways, a lot of tchotchke throughout the entire marketplace, and that's awesome. Sometimes what I'll do is if I'm looking for a specific solution or I'm looking to make a new connection or something like that, sometimes I won't go to a concurrent session or a mega session. I'll actually spend time in the expo talking to potential vendors, and you know, if there's something that I wanted to sign up with, or you know, let them know that we've got a request for proposal open for something like that, then that's a really great time to make some of those connections. Food and drink. Sorry, hold off on the food and drink. While next to the expo is also the SHRM bookstore. So it's all kind of connected and in place. And that's where you can get SHRM apparel, you can get I Love HR stuff, there's the books, but that's also where the speakers who have books that are speaking will be there to actually go ahead and sign and do autographs and stuff like that. Food and drink. They do have food available. Concession stands are open throughout. It's expensive, just letting you know. Some of these venues actually have like a food court, and that's fine too. So just, you know, be prepared. It's probably gonna, I don't know, you could easily spend $20 a day between coffee, water, if you're a soda drinker, and you know, somewhat of lunch if you choose not to do the box lunch. Now, SHRM, as part of this expo, does provide a box lunch, but I'm going to tell you right now, it is a free for all. Imagine lining up two 40-foot tables with boxes, the actual box lunches, stacked 6 high, all the way on this table, right? On both lanes. So there's literally 80 feet of food. I mean, you're feeding 20,000 people. And it is a mad rush, and people, it's not uncommon that you find that you know, a box that you grab has been decimated, like somebody's taken an extra bag of chips or they've taken the pickle or whatever. It's not uncommon. So, you know, just map out mentally your food and what you're going to want to do for lunch, because it gets hairy, and you may even have to want to leave your session ahead of time so that you can get a full lunch if that's what you're going to do. And then there's opportunity for networking events. Like some companies will go ahead and post the opportunity to network. I am actually going to be hosting a networking event Monday night, and that's on June 29th, so write that down. And it's going to be at the Altitude Sky Lounge over at the Marriott, the Gaslamp Quarter. And it's going to be from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. This is Monday night. So you can RSVP. I'm going to be putting out a link for the event so you can go, so I know how many people are going to be attending. Right now, I'm advertising early RSVPs for folks who are in the group. Now, this group is continuing to grow. So if you're attending, then, you know, you're going to, I don't know if I'm going to have to cut it off or not, but I'm opening it up to the group first. So if you are planning on being out to the SHRM convention, then by all means, you know, jump in, let's come on over and chat. And eventually I'm going to go ahead and announce it over on the podcast. So that way it'll probably open up some other opportunities, but so that would be really great. But make sure that when you're there, and I see this all the time, and it drives me batty, when you're there, take advantage of everything that this convention offers. All right? Invest in you. This is an opportunity to invest in you and invest in your learning and your education. Please do not be that person that is sitting there knitting in the session. I have seen this. Trust me, it drives me crazy, right? I've seen people sit there play video games. I see people on Facebook, right? Don't schedule meetings. Unfortunately, at the last time I went, we were in the middle of a bid proposal, and everybody was just couldn't remember the fact that I was at this event. So it took away from my opportunity to attend some of the sessions. So invest in you. This is your opportunity for you. You get to have fun doing this, and it is a load of fun. When you leave, you're going to be exhausted. You're going to be exhausted at the end of the day, but you know, it really is going to make you feel good. So maximizing everything, that's how you do it. get out and network, right? Get ahead of this, get ahead of the curve. Make sure that you guys have the opportunity to get in and, you know, get the best cost. But that's really, this was all these things that I talked about. This is how you maximize this event, right? But really get in and meet people, get in and talk, make connections. Like there's a couple of people that I still communicate with out of the SHRM conferences every year. And it's a lot of fun. And it's nice when we do see each other. I've bumped into people that I used to work with, right? And it's just a load of fun. If you're able to go with somebody, fantastic. You know, it'll be a great time. If you're not, this is an opportunity for you to invest in you. And you'll find like clusters of people that go, they get to go as companies and whatnot. They do a little camaraderie and team building, and it's awesome. But if you can't find these go out and find these networking opportunities, especially like the one I'm talking about on Monday. So that is that. If you guys have questions, go ahead and post them on site. I'm going to post them online down on the below, and I'll keep my eyes open. But this is how you get an opportunity to go ahead and maximize your time over the SHRM convention. And I really, really hope to see you guys there. I'm going to be broadcasting periodically, jumping on Facebook Live and showing what it's all about. But this really is the Mecca event of the heart of everything in HR. So it's a blast. So hope you guys have fun, and we will talk to you later. Have a good one. Thank you for joining me today. Have a good one. Bye.